What's up, everyone? Y'all know what it is. It's Al from the Allen Powell Show on a special Thursday edition of the Allen Powell Show. The NBA is back tonight, second half of the season. So much to discuss. So we would do this. Games doubleheader tonight, and we got a lot to discuss. With all that being said, let's get ready to lock and load, people.
Load, Allen Powell. It's the Allen Powell Show. Where we lock and load. Come on. It's the Allen Powell Show. Where we lock and load. Come on. It's the Allen Powell Show. Where we lock and load. It's the Allen Powell Show. Where we lock and load. Come on.
Thank y'all for tuning in to a special Thursday edition of the Allen Powell Show. The NBA is back tonight. I got to know your thoughts on a lot of things that's going on in the NBA. A lot of moves being made. Got a special guest in the building, all the way representing from North Carolina. You can catch him on the MJ GOAT page, catch him on TikTok and all over the place. Mr. Ralph Alexander's in the building. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me, Al.
You are in the building, man. I know you talk a lot of basketball, so I gotta get your opinions on a lot of things when it comes to basketball. A lot of moves was made, trade deadline, buyouts, and all of that other stuff. Shantae St. James checking in on YouTube. Thanks for checking in. Clem Hollingsworth checking in. Man, so let's get right to it, man. We got a doubleheader tonight. Second half begins tonight. Grizzlies at 76ers and Warriors at Lakers. Now, it's a lot to discuss with all of these teams, and particularly the Lakers. But let's start off with the first game, Memphis and Golden State. Memphis and Philly, I'm sorry. Ja Morant made a comment about how he was so good in the West, and then it was like an avalanche happened. Kevin Durant got traded. And the West is already tough. Denver is number one. So are the Memphis Grizzlies still good in the Western Conference? And what are your take about the Western Conference going forward?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now that I think Ja Morant really put his foot in his mouth when he made those comments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once he said that, before you know it, the floodgates came open, because at the beginning of the season, it was fairly even. The East and the West was even. And then next thing you know, he made the comment, the West is overpowering the East now.
Right.
I don't know. I think Memphis can be competitive, but at the same time, it's like, I don't count out the Golden State Warriors. The Suns, they just shot up to be. The Nuggets is the Nuggets, And I have to say that Mavericks team, if they could get their defense together, they can be a force to be reckoned with as well.
It's so many teams to discuss, so many storylines. Philadelphia in the Eastern Conference. Everybody talks about Boston and Milwaukee, but it's about, man, if Philly don't do it this year, it's pretty much a wrap. This is the best time. Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Tobias Harris, they have a big four. But Joel Embiid has to play like an MVP that he wants so bad. So what chance do you give Philly of actually making it to the finals this year?
To me, honestly, and this is my opinion, they have the roster to do it, but I don't think they have the will to do it. Because you have Boston and the Bucks that has the experience in the finals, to where neither one, any of the Philly team does it. They have the talent to do it. It's just that I think the Bucks, you got to remember, they got Jay Crowder out now.
Jay Crowder.
So that really boosted up their 3-and-D game.
Yes.
And I don't think they really gave up anything to get them.
They did.
So if you really look at it, they got better. And then Boston, they're number one, and they've been playing hurt all year.
Right.
That tells you something. So when they're fully healthy, and then they're better from last year when they went to the championship by adding Malcolm Brogdon. So Philly, they're pretty much the same as last year. They didn't really get better. So that's why I say slim to none. You're gonna have to have performances from Joel Embiid, and on top of that, James Harden has to step up because we all know he's a playoff dropper.
Uh, uh, yeah, in the playoffs, he get real suspect sometimes, man. This got to be the year. And I mean, like Tobias Harris is a nice player. Every time they got injuries and he became the main focus, like he put up numbers. I believe this got to be coaching. Doc Rivers has to get these players to play on a certain level. He got the team to do it. He got the team to do it. Joel Embiid should be able to dominate these centers in the East. He should be able to. He's the best center in the East. So this your team. You got to put him on your back. Trust the process. The process is here. The process is here. Ain't no more trust the process. The process is here. Now you got to deliver on your promise of trust the process. But let's get to the elephant in the room, man. Let's get to the elephant in the room, man. The second game of the doubleheader, Golden State and the LA Lakers. Right now, if we look at the stand, let me see if I can get the standings up here. That's the East. That's the East. So we look at the Western Conference standings right now. The Lakers are not even in the picture. I got them blocked by my header. But if I take the header down, you will see the Lakers. Okay, there we go. 27-32. They're not even in the play-in right now. Everybody is talking about the moves they made, how they gonna make the playoffs. They gonna even pass the play-in. Where do you see the Lakers ending the season? It's only like 22 games, 23 games left. And I looked at their schedule. Their schedule is not favorable at all. They have a pretty tough schedule. They play Golden State twice. They play, I think, Memphis twice. Their schedule is not that great. Where do you see the Lakers finishing?
Well, first it has to start with availability.
Okay.
We have to start with that first.
Yes.
And that not only, I'm not even just talking about Anthony Davis. We're talking about LeBron too, because you got to understand he's missed some games this year as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that a lot of heat was thrown on Anthony Davis because his availability is not there. But we got to look at LeBron; he's accountable as well. But if they can be healthy, and that's a big if.
Yeah.
That's a big if. If they can be healthy, honestly, I see them in the play-in.
In the play-in, not the playoffs, the play-in.
No, not the playoffs. Because if you look at Phoenix, they had 5. They're jumping out. They're going to jump up. We all know that. If I think Sacramento is going to stay. They're going to drop down a little bit, probably around 6 or 7. I mean 6 or 5. And I see Dallas probably jumping maybe up or jumping in the play-in. Because once Golden State get healthy, I feel like they'll go into the playoffs because they've been playing with injuries as well.
So you made a comment about the Sacramento Kings, and they're only 3 games from the play-in themselves. Mm-hmm. They've sustained themselves all the way to this point, but you got to believe eventually that they're going to fall down. I think possibly to play in. But Mike Brown has done a great job with that team. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't see the Lakers getting in the playoffs. The reason why is they got too many teams to climb. So Portland and Utah, okay, they can climb them. Mm-hmm. You said play in, so I might agree with you with play in, but they're not going to be in the playoffs automatically. They're not. No. They're just not. It's too many good teams that they have to surpass. It's too many good teams. But the play-in, they will get in the play-in. And when you talk about a play-in scenario, a one game like the college basketball where anything can happen, anybody can get hot, that's a scary situation.
Right.
That's a scary situation for the Lakers. And it's not guaranteed. So even though if they make the play-in, it's not guaranteed that they're going to make it past that one game. Now, for all the conspiracy theories, do you think the league will rig it up, you know what I'm saying, to make sure they win that play-in game? It's a possibility. Stuff do happen. Let me get a couple of comments in. Clem Hollingsworth, who's a referee, says, think about where all the chatter is coming from. NBA should have a Western Conference playoff to decide the champion this year. I'm just saying. The Western Conference is great, but you can't discount the East, especially the Bucks and the Celtics. Celtics made it to the finals last year. Bucks won a championship a few years ago. What do you think about that comment? What he just said?
Well, the East, I mean, the only teams I see that will be able to contend for those playoffs is the Bucks and Boston.
Right.
If anybody sneaks into that finals, the West got it easy because the West is too strong. They're way too strong. And I want to make that comment on the Lakers. If if they make that play in,
Yeah.
they better hope Golden State and New Orleans is not in it. That's all I gotta say about that. If they're in there, they're not making the playoffs.
Big facts. Big facts. Black Butterfly Pod is LBJ going to play. That's something you just said that not only AD, you have to worry about AD. LBJ, his ankle, he injured his pinky in the All-Star game. He's starting to get what I say, nicked up a little bit as Father Time keep trying to get him. He's getting nicked up here and there, and he's not as durable as he used to be. He's still very durable, but he's starting to get nicked up more. But we all know AD is an accident waiting to happen. So that's to me, that's issue number one. Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be able to get through these 20-some games left? Because history says he's not. But if you look at this Western Conference, and Black Butterfly Pie says, I love it now. We never seen Ja, Luka, Kai, Wardell, LBJ, KD, CP, Kawhi, Russ, PG, Jokic, all playing each other in the same conference. We're going to see who the top dog. I love it. Listen, the West is locked and loaded. This is, I think, like the best I done seen a Western Conference in a long time, maybe ever, because, like I say, with all these healthy, I can name you about 5 teams that can literally come out the West, but I also have questions about all these teams. Let me ask you this, though. Do you believe in the Denver Nuggets? Do you believe in the Denver Nuggets? Because they're the number 1 seed, but every time they made it to the playoffs, they've been knocked out early, some because of injuries, but the fact is they've never went deep in the playoffs. Do you believe in the Nuggets?
I'm gonna tell you about the Nuggets. Now they scary because for the fact that they're finally healthy. You got to remember these past couple of years they playing without their second option in
Right.
Jamal Murray, and now he's back. And if he gets to the Jamal Murray from the bubble,
Yes.
that's gonna be ugly. And then you got to understand that Michael Porter
Junior.
Jr. He wasn't playing very very consistency either, and he's starting to get his legs back. It seems like he's playing now. If they can utilize him in the playoffs to where he stays healthy, that's going to be a scary team. And like I have the Suns coming out the West, but that's the only team I feel like that can contest with the Suns.
Yeah, I think, man, the West is so loaded. So if you got the Suns coming out the West, where do you got Golden State?
It was very hard for me to say the Suns for the fact that I never go against the defending champions. I never do, but that type of firepower over there is hard to go against. If you really look at them, they are built like the Golden State when KD was on there. If you really look top to bottom on that roster, they're built like that.
Right. So looking forward, Black Butterfly Pie says, I like them, bro, but they just not good enough. I want them to make it to the finals, but I don't think they have enough to take down some of them teams below them. And I think he's talking about the Nuggets, man. Man, listen, I feel like if the Suns wouldn't have made that move, okay, Denver really have a chance to come out the West. But now it just got super tough, man. It just got super tough. And I feel like Golden State gonna have something to say. We don't know what Zion health is gonna be like. If he come back for the Pelicans, they're gonna have something to say. The West is just so loaded. I can't wait to see it. I want to. How do you feel Russell Westbrook will fit with the Clippers? Because I feel like he got a bad rap with the Lakers. It's like every time you play with LeBron, it's like, man, the pressure gets heightened up. It's LA. They're gonna magnify everything, and I feel like he got a bad rap. He got blamed for a lot of stuff that wasn't his fault, man. And I can't wait to see what he do with the Clippers. How do you think he's gonna feel with the Clippers?
Well, with the Clippers, we're gonna probably see the Westbrook from the Wizards. And if you remember the Westbrook from the Wizards, he was averaging triple double.
Mm,
And the reason why I say that, if you look at that Clippers roster, there's a whole bunch of shooters around him to where he can drive to the paint and dish out. And you got to remember, he got uh, Paul George. Last time they were together, Paul George had his best season of his career when he was third in MVP voting,
right.
and he led the league in steals. And then now you have another superstar that's starting to get his legs in Kawhi, because if you looked at the last few games before the All Star game, he was lighting them up.
Yeah.
So adding Westbrook to this squad, I feel like he's gonna really open up open up the floor to where he's gonna be able to flourish like he used to. Because in LA, you got to remember Westbrook. If you look at it, he's an inefficient mini LeBron.
Mm,
That's what he really is. He needs shooters around him for his game to work, and he has that. You even got Norman Powell coming off the bench. I mean, they have like three or four players that's shooting 38% from the 3 point line and up.
yeah. They are.
So that's why I think this is going to be a good fit with Westbrook.
I like the move as well. I thought him going to Miami would have been a better move. I really feel like they could have used him more than the Clippers did, but I think it's going to be a good move for the Clippers. Like, he's still athletic. It's not like he's just falling off. Like, the guy's still athletic, still can get to the rim. I mean, I like the move. And once again, this is another team that you have to watch out for. They are loaded.
Mhm.
They can go 10 deep easy, easy. And so I think in a Western Conference, everything is going to be about matchups. Who Everything is going to be about who plays who at what time. But I got a comment, Black Butterfly Pod, the team to me who I'm looking at is Memphis, bro. Jock and Ross to the next level, but they let their foot off the pedal. I'm watching Memphis seriously. Did they let their foot off the pedal, or he stuck his foot in his mouth? But I like Memphis, but if we look at their roster, they got a whole bunch of hard nosed players. But besides Ja, who's that next guy? Jaren Jackson made the All Star team, but they don't have another big offensive option like Ja. Desmond Bain's supposed to be there. He's a good shooter, but who can get their own shot other than Ja?
Nobody.
So that's going to be a problem to me. And the West has gotten tougher. So I think, man, it's going to be tough for them, and it's going to be tough for a lot of teams. But the West is tough this year, and I look forward to see what happens. I want to get to Pat Bev, man. Pat Bev joining the Bulls, and I'm a Bulls fan. And I could care less about the move. I didn't really care for the move, but as soon as he got there, he got on his Pat Bev stuff. He talking about, oh, we gonna knock the Lakers. We want to knock the Lakers out the playoffs. And you know what I thought? I said, you know what? If he can motivate this Bulls team to actually play well enough to give the Lakers a crucial loss, I would love it. I would love it. And then he would probably act a fool, jump on the scores table and act a fool like he won a championship. But you know what? This might be the Bulls championship for this year, because they're not going anywhere. For them to Pat Bev is going to celebrate like he won a championship. But what do you think? What do you think about what he said about trying to get the Lakers out the playoffs?
I'm gonna say this about Pat Bev. There's something going on in that Lakers organization to where you got to really say. I mean, why did he really say that? You got to read between the lines. There's something going on, and
So
there's
what do you
been
think? What
rumors.
do you think is going on?
I feel like there's some unhappiness in the organization with LeBron. I
Okay.
feel like that's what it is, because the main focus was on the scoring record instead of winning. Because, like, even if you look at what JJ Redick said at the beginning of the year, he said, "We're not worried about winning. This is LeBron's time to break the record. It's all about him."
Yeah, yeah,
And I feel like the the comments and like the body language of AD, I feel like he's probably upset about all of this because he's still in his prime. You got to remember that he's 29 years old,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, I want to win, and we're focusing on this." I think he might be ready to get up out of there, in
That,
my opinion.
and that's what you got to deal with when you play with LeBron. Um, the Hollywood shenanigans that you got to deal with LeBron. And now Darvin Ham coming out. Oh, we're gonna. Everything is about winning now. If you read between the lines when he says everything is about winning now, that's clearly saying that it wasn't about winning before. It was about get this record, do this, do that. And this is what I'm saying. Like they only got 20-something games left, and they and not even in the play-in right now. So I think it's gonna be very hard for them to make the playoffs. They got to scratch and paw just to get the play in. Black Butterfly Pod says your guess is spot on. So they feeling you out there, Ralph Dog. They say you spot on, man, on your knowledge. Black Butterfly Pod says that's the problem with the Bulls. They need a leader. Pat is that. They don't have that in the locker room. I love Pat Bev. That's exactly what we needed. Listen, I believe if they would have got him at the beginning of the season, then cool. At this point, it ain't no sense. Bulls is not going anywhere. Let's look at these standards one more time, man. Let's look at these standards one more time. They're in the 11th spot right now, 2 games out of the play-in. It's no reason to bring Pat Bev in. Like, I would have just waited to the beginning of the next season. Then let him deal with Zach and DeRozan and be that vet and the defender and the leader and all that stuff. It's too late. It's too late. What's the reason for bringing him in right now? Can you tell me, Ralph, what's the reason?
Well, I really can't answer that question.
Exactly.
But I do have some information about your Bulls that some sources told me that y'all gonna have an interesting off season.
Okay.
With Zach LaVine, and
okay.
It's been some uproar into that locker room to where DeRozan and Zach LaVine is not happy, and Zach LaVine is more of the player that they can move than DeRozan because Zach LaVine is younger and he has more years on his contract compared to DeRozan.
Well, I wanted them to blow it up anyway. At the trade deadline, I wanted them to blow it up. I wanted them to trade LaVine. I wanted them to get rid of DeRozan and get rid of Vooch. That's what I wanted. Lonzo Ball is out for the season. He's not playing. They're not going anywhere. Blow it up. But I found out that they gave Donovan a contract extension on the low. It was like real quiet news, which I hated. Like, Donovan is not a good coach to me. I didn't like him when they first got him. But I feel like they need to blow the whole thing up. But Pat Bev, man, hey, I will be in the building for that game too. March 29th, the Lakers play the Bulls. I will be in the building for that game. And I sure hope the Bulls do what Pat Bev wants them to do and play well enough. I want to ask you about your Knicks real quick, man. Right now, they're yeah. We're going to talk about your Knicks. They're in the 6th spot right now. A half game in front of Miami. How are you feeling about your Knicks right now?
I'm liking how my Knicks is looking. Jalen Brunson is really running that team. He's a big difference maker. He actually elevated Julius Randle's game from last year. You can see that playmaker, that leadership really was missing last year. And I like the move with Josh Hart. That was a real good move. You got the best rebounding guard, and he's also can put the ball in the hoop. In the past he's averaged 14 a game, so he proved that he can score as well as grab some boards for a guard. Now, even though I feel like Jalen Brunson has elevated Julius Randle game, I'm still not sold on Julius Randle for the fact that he's inconsistent. He's been like that throughout his career.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the beginning of the year, we were trying to trade him. And then now his stock is high. I felt like we should have strike while the iron is hot. But, they want to ride this coattail, ride the wave. I'm fine for it. And then, we got some injuries with Mitchell Robinson is out. Once he comes back in the lineup and everything starts running smoothly, if we could stay, well, we know Brooklyn's going down.
Yes.
They're getting out of there. They're going to be out. We know that.
But you know what? They have some young studs that they got in the trade back. Mikal Bridges, Cam Jordan. Yeah, they got some young studs back, and I think Mikal Bridges could actually take that next step because he was progressing already. So now I think he has a chance to be the star of that team and have his own team. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree with you on Mikal Bridges. It's just that they need a whole lot more, and
Okay.
I feel like if they're gonna put that into Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges' hand, I feel like Cam Thomas stunt his growth is stunt because
Mm,
remember he had them 340-point back to back to back.
right,
That boy's a bucket. I always thought he was a bucket ever since he was at LSU.
right,
He led the SEC in scoring.
right.
So like I feel like that stunted his growth, and they're gonna have to find some time for him.
So yeah, you're right, man. I look forward to seeing what they do with Cam Thomas as well, because like you said, them 340-point games, the boy can score. He a bucket. Now it's up to Jock Vaughn to get them to play right. He just got an extension, so he's
Hmm.
going to be there for a little bit. So he got a chance to put his own spin on that team and do well. But I look forward to these games tonight, man. All eyes, because listen, the Lakers are going to be in trouble because every team that they're trying to pass uh are good teams. So like for example, Golden State, they're on their own mission to make their own run. So it's not like they got a cakewalk to get in the play in. And this is not an easy game for them tonight, even without Steph Curry. This is still the defending champs. So I look forward to
Hmm.
seeing this game tonight and seeing what the Lakers, that new team and all the new pieces that they got. I thank you for checking in with us, Ralph. Thank you for coming on, brother. Before I
Oh
get up
yeah.
out of here, I like to give my scripture of the day. So my scripture of the day is Malachi 2:13. I came across this scripture and it kind of opened my eyes a little bit. It says, and here's a second offense. You fill the place of worship with your whining and sniffling because you don't get what you want from God. Do you know why? Simple, because God was there as a witness when you spoke your marriage vows to your young bride, and now you've broken those vows, broken the faith bond with your vowed companion, your covenant wife. God, not you, made marriage. His spirits inhabits even the smallest details of marriage. And what does he want from marriage? Children of God, that's what. So guard the spirit of marriage within you. Don't cheat on your spouse. This scripture came and I was like, whoa, it seems like God is not even going to hear you when you're not treating your spouse right. So for all the married folks out there, you want to check out this scripture, you want to hear from God, you want to get some things from God, you probably want to treat your spouse right, because if you don't, this scripture says he he don't want to mess with you. So hopefully this scripture does something for you. It opened my eyes, and that's the scripture for the day. So hopefully it bless you. Remember, if you want to support this show, you can send stars to the Alan Powell Show page. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, IG, and TikTok. We always got merch on deck. Search sweaters, long sleeves, all that good stuff. My brother Ralph, thank you again, brother. Basketball season's about to be in full swing, man. So you definitely gonna have to come back again, my brother.
Oh, anytime, man. I love basketball. I love talking about it.
All right, I see y'all next Tuesday, and I'll be watching these games tonight. We are out of this thing. See y'all Tuesday.
All right.
Hello, Alan Pants. It's the Alan Pants Show. Yeah. But we not too low.